his pick. That's going to be him saying For the Dream is going to secure that victory. We are down on the Antares battlefield for game number 1 of our last quarterfinal match for the European bracket. For the Dream taking on Artic Gaming.
Let's see, they're going to do an invade here. Looks like they are. Artic Gaming is posturing for some aggression, but it looks like they're not, and they're going to go back to farming here. And this is what teams do, but Finnick has the lead here. He is taking that, the blue buff, the red buff on the bottom there, and he's going to go, he then takes the red buff and then gets aggressive to go after the blue. This is a great player because when you get the red buff, your attacks slow the enemy hero. And look at these stacks here. Boom, you see the amount of damage? Look at that, it just exploded and took the monster like that. This is what makes Finnick so good because he can clear jungle so fast because of his passive.
So now, with a little piece of aggression, we talked to For the Dream. We said, what do you guys prefer? How is your style different from the others? And their immediate answer was the level 1 jungle invades. You obviously saw a piece of that right there. And so now, as the level 1s are turning into the level 3s, we're going to see another form.
Yeah, so you see what he threw there. It's called Thief's Mark. Once you get marked, you need to back off. That's how you play against a Finnick. That's his win condition. Thief's Mark basically increases his attack speed towards that target for 25%, and it explodes after 4 seconds, doing a lot of area damage as well. And his normal attacks do extra damage on marked targets. So this is why you don't want to get hit by the 4th stack, because the explosion is going to do so much damage, and it's going to really put you at a disadvantage against a Finnick.
Rez is on that top side of the map with that Superman. The unconventional skin, not using the normal Superman skin that we're used to seeing. He decided to change capes, the wardrobe, flipped himself up. The normal one was in the dry cleaners. He wanted to be a little bit more stylish here for the Valor series, as the Spirit Sentinel is going to go down in favor of Artic Gaming.
Yeah, not bad for Artic there, getting the Spirit Sentinel, because it does give the whole team. And look how fast Finnick's going to take this dragon. Look at that, the Thief's Mark. His ultimate is the Chain Hammer Cyclone. It slows everything in his path, but Finnick's damage is so fast that the dragon is taking like that. And this is the advantage of Finnick here. This is why he's played in jungle, because he can clear objectives and towers so quickly. But Artic is doing a good job of countering it, getting some kills, and getting the Sentinel.
First kill goes over into the pocket of that L'Oreal with Nalians going away. And despite the strength that we've talked about For the Dream has, you still had a very solid pick rotation, especially when you can secure Wonder Woman as well as L'Oreal on the same team, and even better, securing the first blood kill over into her pockets.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see how they're going to take advantage of this Superman here, because once team fights happen and his ability to engage is going to basically set up the entire For Dream team for a lot of damage and crowd control by Superman flying in there.
So as we're up on just over the 3-minute mark, remember the first Abyssal Dragon went over into the hands of For the Dream, and if either one of these teams can secure themselves a victory, they will move on to the semifinals that take place on Saturday. It's going to be here on Twitch, or on all of the Arena Valor channels that we that we're broadcasting on. For the Dream, potentially wanting to keep that number 2 seed alive, they would be going up against Royal. And as we saw, every single team that has won today has definitely the potential to take home the victory.
Yeah, look at that. Look at Finnick there. He's doing so much damage to the tower. Once he puts another Thief Mark on that tower, he's able to take it down. Yep, once you get that 4 stack, and they're going to definitely wait and position to get this tower here, because they want to push the advantage and open up the top side of the map to more map control and pressure from For the Dream. And look at Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman has 1.4k gold against Malik 1.8. So that's a matchup that Wonder Woman shouldn't fall behind on. That's going to put the team at a disadvantage, because she's not exerting enough side lane pressure for Artic Gaming to be able to rotate and counter these objective pushes that you're seeing coming from For the Dream on the top side.
And so For the Dream, making sure that they keep themselves nice and cautious and pumping as much gold into that Finnick as possible. We have talked about the strength that Arena of Violet provides, as well as what his teammates can help out with them. And so a very slower start. The second half of this quarterfinal broadcast that we've had for the European side has been a lot slower paced than what we saw in the first half. These teams definitely recognizing that patience is going to help the victor in a lot of ways, as Grizzly Q is going to do a little bit of damage on a CO, but Wonder Woman is going to be forced to back away. They're going to have to reset this fight.
Yeah, Malik is good against tanks because he does true damage from his blade. Once his ability hits a hero, his blade becomes enchanted, and then when he slashes again, that does true damage. So it doesn't matter how tanky or how much armor you have, that true damage will just hit through all your defenses, and that's what makes Malik so strong and does so much damage for relatively zero damage items.
And here's our first big scuffle of the mark. Siege weapons are out and available, but it doesn't matter because the heroes are fighting. Arena of Valor, Arena of Violet picks up his first kill. He's going to come now at 1-0-1. That's going to force the members of Artic Gaming to go away because the Abyssal Dragon looks like it's going to be healthy in the hands of For the Dream.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful engage by Malik there. He basically landed his shock ultimate right on top of the enemy team. Was able to let Finnick get the kill on Thane, who was kind of overextended, and then disengaged. But once Laura put her ultimate up, For the Dream disengaged perfectly. They didn't try to continue to do that fight because L'Oreal, look at that Finnick taking that tower like that. So For the Dream is playing really well against the L'Oreal here because they're not basically fighting her under her ultimate.
Ensuring early objectives, especially in a game like Arena of Valor, is extremely important because the gold that the towers provide, the gold and XP that you get from both the Sentinel as well as the Abyssal Dragon are hyper important for the success of your team moving forward. 6.5 minutes into the game, that means we are past the spawning of the Darkslayer. He is there waiting and hoping for someone to come try and take him down.
Yeah, and they're going to take it fast. Finnick is building a lot of more attack items. Looks like he's building towards a Slick's Sting, which is going to increase his critical damage by 50% once he finishes item, and that's going to give Finnick so much burst damage against his opponents. So let's see what's going to happen when it comes to items that he's going to be finishing next for his tier 3.
Coming up on 7 minutes into the match, these teams are starting to get the first piece of item builds that we know they are looking for. A common trend in a majority of the matches today are these teams getting themselves patient. Aggression, obviously, is extremely important in the early game, but once after those first couple minutes of the jungle harassing happens, these teams have done a great job at resetting the fight and getting themselves in a better set. As Denalian's going to just do a little whop on a Thane, but you know, he's gonna have to be forced to just back off there.
Yeah, what Artic needs to do here is to stop the bleeding. They need to stop giving towers over. They need to rotate to counter the Finnick. And wow, look at that Thane out. It doesn't come out in time. Zinio comes out here, and this is not a good fight here for Artic.
I don't think they're going to want to do this. They're going to have to be forced to retreat back into their tower. You can see that damage of the Tulin being popped off. The next Abyssal Dragon is on the mark, and if For the Dream can successfully secure this third Abyssal Dragon in a row, they're going to have quite the advantage that they're looking for to potentially start taking down some towers.
Yeah, it's just, this is really good. I mean, they're playing so well and pushing tower. This is what exactly you want to do with a marksman comp with a Finnick like this. You want to just push the lane, win the towers, open up the map, and then take all the objectives you can when it comes to the Spirit Sentinel or the Abyssal Dragon. And that's exactly what they're doing here, like clockwork.
Like clockwork, indeed. As Shurko is going to have to be forced to retreat. Kappa is joining onto the fray. You can see the Zephyrus now. They're going down and doing their best. And just like that, look at that damage coming out of the Tulin. Arena of Violet isn't able to get the ultimate the way that he wants to, but there's the auto attacks that we know does so much damage. You can see the burst coming down. Ruiz is going to take down Rez.
Yeah, did you see that endure by Shurko there? Shurko endured just in time, so the Zephyrs couldn't kill him. And then he got so much burst damage off on the Zephyrs. The Zephyrs had to back off against the Tulin. That was a really nice play and really nice timing of the endure talent there, which basically makes you immune to any damage while you're crystallized. But
the damage is still happening. You can see both of the carries for the Dream and Artic Gaming are keeping themselves strong. You've got 1-0-2 in the pocket of Arena of Violet, as well as Ruiz onto this L'Oreal, which we've seen 3-0-0. And the longer that this game goes and the stronger that both of these carries get, the harder it's going to be in these team fights.
And Arena of Violet finished Fafnir's Talon. It has a unique passive called Dragon's Breath, which does normal attacks do additional damage that's equal to 8% of the target's current HP. That's 8% of HP gone every attack. It is negated slightly by armor though, but that percentage health damage is really good against tanks like Thane or anyone that likes to build a little extra tanky because of the percentage damage.
And we also don't want to forget the Crusader himself, the man that flies. He's not a bird, he's not a plane. He's just Superman coming onto the Antares battlefield. And just like that,
just in there,
he joins the fray, forces the members of Arctic to come back. But you're going to have a nice little engage coming out of Grizzly Q. They're going to have the tower to support them, so it doesn't look like For the Dream is going to decide to push themselves too much further, as we've got a nice little split push coming in the bot lane.
Yeah. It's to be interesting to see how For the Dream's going to combo the Finnick and the Superman here. Because Finnick has that Cyclone there. It kind of zones people out. They can't walk through it. It slows their speed. And allows them to basically split the party up or focus the person that's in the Cyclone. It is,
but we've got ourselves the next fight of the market. It's now going to be the members of For the Dream. They're going to get themselves pushed back a little bit more. But meanwhile, Shurko is going to do into that stasis, try to get as much damage. Superman's going to join the fight as well. And this is where things are going to start to get scary for the members of Arctic Gaming. You're going to have Zunk. He's going to go down. Superman picked up a kill in the mark as well. And so now, just like that, you're going to have For the Dream. They waited, they hoped, they prayed, and it was Superman that came in, saved the day, and knocked down the 3 members of Arctic Gaming.
Yeah, he definitely came in as the savior of that team fight. And then Shurko was able to play and do damage, getting 3 kills under his belt in that fight. That was critical there, and it split. The team was split up. Artic was not focused on the same opponent. And look at that Superman there, pushing out the Zephyrs for them to focus him. What a beautiful play by Superman. He's going to do the same thing again there, and Rez is just playing Superman like he is meant to. So really nice job and really nice play, setting it up his team to delete the enemy heroes that he is moving out of position.
They weathered the storm and the onslaught of Arctic Gaming. The blizzard came, but it was For the Dream that was able to come back. Like you said, it was Rez to help him and the rest of his team. But you cannot discount the strength of the carries. Tulin as well as Fennec. Shurko and Arena of Violet respectively are 2-0-4 and 2-0-5. They're not getting killed. They're staying in good position, and they're ensuring to get off as much damage as humanly possible.
Yeah, and that's what now Arctic just needs to turtle. I mean, they cannot be fighting. They're behind significantly. 10k gold is pretty significant. That's something they can look at the stats and see how far behind they are. They need to farm and get a few more items underneath their belt here, because they don't have the damage. Like, who is the damager on this team? L'Oreal looks like she's the damager. Zephyrs has some damage, but that's not enough. And if you look at the items on the side of Arctic Gaming, it's just not enough damage to really secure some key kills here.
No, it's not, but you still have the onslaught of For the Dream come through the mark. Here we go. This is the Superman that we all love to watch and see on the mark. He has 1-0 in play. He's only been not banned or played once throughout the course of the day, but now the ultimate item on the menu, it's going to be that Dark Slayer that For the Dream is going to want to get and secure. Rez is going to zone out the other members of Arctic Gaming and allow them to secure that Dark Slayer. And so now with the high ground turret down in the mid lane, all they have to do is push up these sides, wait for the minions to crash in, and they can have all the finishes. It looks like Zunk is going to get chased down. Superman's coming to the rescue.
That's his passive. When he flies towards enemies, he moves 20% faster, so you can't really escape him. Oh, wow. His ultimate got canceled. He tried to ult to his teammates, but Zenio was caught out. They're going to rotate onto him here. But the team is rotating too. Arctic is rotating to him to help him out. But look at the amount of damage Superman is doing onto Zenio already.
And the rest of the members of For the Dream are joining onto the fray. You've got a nice little 2-3 split push. Both the carries, mind you, are on the top side of the map. Both Fennec as well as a... But it looks like we're going to see a little bit of a fight here. We've got Arctic Gaming, the 4-man knockup coming out of Grizzly Q. The tower's coming off all the damage, but the ultimate is happening by Rez. He's going to be able to pick up that kill. 4 members are down. Zunk is the only one left alive, and he's going to go down in the process as well. They've got the minion waves. They've got the kills. They've got the muscles to flex, and For the Dream keeps the dream alive, taking out Arctic Gaming.
Yeah, what a nice lumbar ultimate there by Grizzly Q. He landed multiple stuns with his Earth Shatter. I mean, this is a team that definitely is on the same page when it